Hey everybody, how's it going? Lee here, Bentley's BrewerLee. I got a really easy brew day today. I'm actually going to attempt a kettle sour. So never done one before, but I'm just going to mash in like I normally would. Get everything in my brew kettle. And then I'm actually going to keep it at about 120 degrees for 3 to 4 days after I add some lactobacillus in it. So I guess we'll see how it goes. So I got my strike water going right now. I'm shooting for a mash of 152, so I'm gonna get that strike water up to about 169. I got for grains I got 5.5 pounds of 2-row and I believe 5 pounds of white wheat, and I'm also going to add about a half pound, maybe 3/4 pound of rice hulls. All right, we'll be back soon. Of course, for scientific reasons, you can't make a home brew without drinking a home brew. So I got my raspberry chocolate stout here. If I don't spill it, trying to open it. All right, we had technical difficulties there. So cheers. Still pretty good. Okay, I got my strike water at the temp. Got my mash in warmed up. We're gonna go ahead and dough in. This is always tricky because I don't have sophisticated equipment. Okay, typically, I would put some pH stabilizer in my mash. Today I'm shooting for a sour beer. I'm not going to do that this time. We'll see how that goes. And I went for a lot thicker of a mash this time. So, I do have some rice hulls here. I got a 1 pound bag of rice hulls here. I'm going to put roughly half of it in there. And that's about half of it. A lot thicker of a mash than what I normally do. I don't see any dough balls. Okay, I'm gonna let that go for an hour. I'm gonna take a pH reading too, so we'll see what that's at. Interested to see what I start with and what I end up with, man. I'm doing a sour. Okay. I'm gonna close up out the mash tun, and then we'll look at that. This is going to be the worst video ever taken. I think we're right about 5.4. Looks pretty close to me. Okay, we've been mashing for an hour. Just want to get the final mash temp, and then we'll start pulling our vorl off. Definitely didn't hit the 152 like I wanted to. It was more like 149.7 when I started the mash. So it looks like we lost about 6 degrees. Alright, 143.6-ish. Alright, I'm going to start my vorl off. I'll pull 5 or 6 of these off till it starts running clear. No more chunks coming through. But I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here and watch all that, so I'll bring the video back when I'm done vorl-offing and I'm starting to sparge. Okay, I got my first runnings going. I was actually going to pull my first runnings and do a whole batch sparge, but I think I'm just going to do a fly sparge. My water is already up to temp, so I'm just going to fly sparge as I go. For those of you who don't know what fly sparging is, I'm going to slowly add the hot water, sparge water, roughly at the same rate I'm pulling the liquid off. So I'll be back when I get everything sparged out with my kettle full. Cheers. Okay, I got all my stuff pulled off the mash tun. I ended up, I don't know, right around 4 ounces or 4 gallons, maybe a little bit less. A little less than what I was shooting for, but that's okay. So, just got the ice bath going right now. I'm going to bring it down to about 120. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the lacto. The way I plan on temperature controlling it is with my freezer that I've got temperature controlled. I've got a heating source, and of course the freezer is the cooling source. And it's been steady between 110 and 120 for about a solid 24 hours now. So I should have no problem keeping it at least 110, right around 120 for the next couple of days. I've actually, for now, I've just got a space heater in there. And then, of course, the freezer's put into the cooling part of the temperature controller. I would be careful with space heaters. This one doesn't have any plastic in the interior, so I felt safe enough doing it. But I do have a reptile heating lamp ordered and on its way. So once that comes, I'm going to replace that space heater with that. It's been a while since I've had a batch that small. I would say 3 minutes in the ice bath and I was already down to like 113, 115. So she's already cooled down enough. I'm going to grab my lacto, add the lacto in there, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in the fermentation chamber is what I'm going to call it. Here we go. Alright, that's what it is. Lactobacillus brevis, WLP 672. Okay, I got it in there. Like I said, today's Sunday. I am probably going to let this go until Wednesday night. if not Thursday sometime. At that time, I'll take another pH reading, and then we'll go ahead and start the boil. It's only going to be a 15-minute boil. Then I'll add my hops, flame out, and that way too, I'm doing everything in the one kettle. So people are worried about the lacto and souring all your equipment and you're not going to be able to use it again. I'm doing everything in that kettle. I'm going to do my boil in that kettle. Once I boil, anything that was in there is going to be killed. So don't worry. Okay, so I'm back. It's Wednesday night, so we're going to go ahead and pull the sour out of the temperature control device, and then go ahead and get the boil going and add the hops. But first, you need a homebrew, right? So cheers. Okay, so we did the mash Sunday night. It's Wednesday night now. Been in there 3 days. I haven't looked at it yet, so we'll see what this looks like. Yep, it looks disgusting. And it smells horrible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just skim all that white crap off the top. It's got a name for it, but I don't know what it is. I'm going to skim that off, and then I'm going to start the boil. Alright, we got a nice rolling boil. Now typically, so I'm only going to do a 15-minute boil. Typically at 15 minutes left in the boil, I would put my wort chiller in. I'm not going to use the wort chiller. I'm just going to do an ice bath. I don't know. Anyways, I got my hops already weighed out. Roughly ½ ounce of Centennial and a ½ ounce of Willamette. Got some Irish moss in there, and I got some yeast nutrient in there. Now let's hope that when I add this in here, we don't have a overboil. We're going to. Killed the gas. Good way to stop it. Good thing I'm quick. Okay. Got the flame back on. Just gonna have to be careful. I got the burner turned down a little bit lower. I'll slowly add some more, see what happens here. Let me tell you, man, that Kettle sour smells god awful. Smells 100% better now. I got some hops in there. All right, I'm gonna let this boil for 15 minutes, and then I'm just gonna do an ice bath, and then I'm gonna transfer it to the fermenter, and I'm gonna let it ferment out for probably 2 weeks, give or take a couple days. And I'm actually gonna be the first time I'm using my fermentation chamber. I'm gonna try to keep it right at the temperature range. So I'm just using US-05. So I set the temperature range. I set it at 65, and I'm gonna let it go 5 above and 5 below. But anyways, I will be back after the boil. All right, 15-minute boil is done. I'm going to go ahead and kill the gas. And we're going to take it inside and start the ice bath. Oh, did you shut that door? Don't mind my messy kitchen. Okay, already got the plug in there. Put some cold water. I'm gonna put some ice in there. the USO5 has a temperature range from like roughly 54 to a little over 70. So I'm basically gonna shoot for 70 for a temperature range. I usually ballpark it, and once I get below 75, I think I'm good enough. So I guess I'll be back after it's cool and I transfer it to the fermenter. Okay, so it took forever to cool, so I ended up actually getting my work chiller and sanitizing it and all that good stuff. So next time I'll definitely use the work chiller like normal. I'm gonna get a pH rating. I think it was at 5.4 the first time. She definitely soured. So 3.5. I mean, that's already quite a bit lower than when I started. So there's that. Let's get the see what gravity we're at. So it looks like 1.0. I mean, 1.043, 0.44, right around there. All right, so actually that's all I'm gonna do is dump it into the fermenter and then put it in the fermentation chamber. I didn't think about where I was going to put the sample. So I guess I'll just put some of it in here. And pour it all over the floor. This took a lot longer than I expected, so I'm ready for this to be done. And I'm just gonna pour it right in there. And try not to get all that crap at the bottom. Got my sanitized yeast, my sanitized scissors. These scissors are really nice. Sprinkle it right on top. I'm only at like 3, maybe a little over 3 gallons, so I'm not worried about a blow-off tube this time. I'll just do the old airlock. Right this way. Already got the fermentation chamber down to temp. And you see in here, come on in here. Do you see that I got the, I don't have the space heater anymore now. I got the reptile lamp with the bulb that doesn't emit light, just heat. I did say earlier I was gonna let it go for like 2 weeks. I will probably do a secondary fermentation, so after about a week I'll transfer it to secondary, let it go another week, and then I'll keg it, and I'll bring you guys on for the kegging video. See ya. All right, we're back. It's actually Thursday night, so I let it go 1 day over a week. I was a little lazy last night, didn't feel like doing it. So it's been in the fermenter now for 8 days. We're going to transfer it to secondary. My real only reason for doing that is to clear it up a little bit. So here we go. There it is in there, 68.5 degrees. Stayed right around 66, 67 degrees the whole time. Here's the wiener dog. I always like to squirt the outside of the fermenter with sanitizer before I open it, just in case anything falls down inside there. Okay. Be kind of tricky to do this one-handed, but let's try it. That wasn't so bad. There she goes. Doesn't really smell terrible anymore, so that's good. All right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna need somebody to hold the camera while I get all the siphon going and all that good stuff. Okay, so I got my auto siphon all sanitized. Third time's a charm. I am going to get a gravity reading too, so I'm going to just put a little bit in this glass. Plus that way I get to taste it. I got the sanitizer all over the place. Not much light in here. So we're about 1.019, 118, right around there. What would we to start with? 4.8, 4.9, something like that. So we'll figure out what that is later. It's really not bad. Just tastes like a sour. Kind of impressed. Okay, so I'm just going to transfer this, and then I'm going to put it back in the fermentation chamber for probably another 6-7 days, probably 6 days, and then I'll keg it, and then I'll do a kegging video as well, and then about a day after that I'll do a real tasting video, carbonated and everything. So see you then. All right, so I cold crashed that thing for like ever, so now we're finally gonna keg it. I'm gonna add some CO2 to the keg while I'm kegging it. Here's the bad boy right here. If I can get the damn lid off. I do need to take a sample so I can get the final gravity reading on it. So so freaking hard to read the little numbers. I'm gonna say 1.017. It's all foggy. Yeah, 1.017. I'm gonna keg this, and then hopefully tomorrow I can try it, and I'll share that with everybody. If not tomorrow, it'll be the next day. I guess I'll be back when I'm purging all the air out of there. Okay, I got everything transferred, but I forgot to share my homebrew with you. So it's raspberry eclipse. So raspberry wheat I did a while back. It's actually been aged for almost about a year now. That's what happens when you're constantly brewing more beer. But anyways, I got the kegs full. I don't want to leave it open to the air too long, so there's that. Got my lid out of the sanitizer solution. Turn the CO2 back on. Now basically I'm just going to purge all the oxygen out of there. I'm going to turn the CO2 up a little bit. That's why I love the ball lock kegs with the pressure relief valve. It's a lot easier to purge. Drink up. Not too shabby. I guess you guys don't need to see the whole thing. I'm going to purge the hell out of it, make sure I get all the oxygen out of it. Then I'm going to put it in my keezer at roughly 30-35 pounds of pressure. And it probably shouldn't take long because I've only got about 3 gallons. You can see, probably not even quite 3 gallons. You can see the line there, the condensation. Anyways, I'll let it sit overnight. And then when I get home from work tomorrow, I'll taste it and see how the CO2 tastes. I think most sours are a little more carbonated than others, so I'll make sure it has a nice carbonation. And then once that's done, I'll put it back down to serving pressure, and I'll share the first taste with everybody. So, all right, thank you. Okay, it's been on the CO2 for 18 hours. About 35 pounds of pressure. So I'm going to relieve the pressure off the keg. I'm going to turn the CO2 down. I need my tool because turn up the serving pressure. Turn my CO2 back on. Hook up my beer line. Because I need to quit leaking. That's cute. Get all the sanitizer out of my line. And we get to actually try it now. Seems to be, seems to have a decent amount of CO2. Doesn't smell bad. Could probably have a little more carbonation. Definitely got a sour taste. I'm no professional beer reviewer, but I don't taste any off flavors. I don't taste any oxidation. I don't taste any astringencies or anything, so I'm pretty happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out. Okay, so I did forget to mention, came out at like 20-25 IBUs. We were right about 3.54% alcohol. So at the beginning OG was 1.044, ended up with 1.017. So it gave me the 3.5%, a little bit more than that of alcohol. And altogether took me basically 4 weeks. I did let it sit in cold crash for about a week though, so we could have been a lot sooner. All right, thanks for watching. Bentley's BrewerLee out.